Those heavy beats indicate the weighty thoughts of the Jim and Terry Show, coming to you from Bob Cajun. I'm one of your hosts, Terry.
And I'm the other one, Jim.
And together we have weighty thoughts, lofty thoughts, and a mug of coffee to wash it all down with. Good morning, my friend. Cheers. Chin
Good morning.
chin.
Clink,
Remember
clink.
when we used to clink clink on a...
There we go. Bang.
and-
Yeah, well, this before we had to reach through everything in this wonderful bunker that we're in today.
The wonderful bunker. Sometimes it feels safe in the bunker.
Wouldn't it be terrible to go out the door and everything else is gone?
You open that door and there's nothing out there. Yeah. We're going to start off then with things that are hitting critical mass, to use a, well, maybe that's not a prescient thing, a nuclear reference. Critical mass, when something's going to go. And a pressure cooker is maybe an easier one for us older folks to understand. Did you ever use a pressure cooker to cook anything?
I never owned one, but my father-in-law used to cook in a pressure cooker all the time. I swear he cooked soup in it.
I swear my father's printing company was a pressure cooker. What we're talking about are things that, go, they react under pressure.
Yeah.
And is it going to blow? There was a safety valve on the pressure cookers. That's right. It reminds me of the kettle, the whistling kettles of today. Yeah, you got to relieve some pressure. Hammer, relieve some pressure.
Under pressure.
Oh, well, all kinds of David Bowie and so pressure. What are we doing with the Middle East? Let's just start there and we'll wander to wherever, but it's under pressure.
We mentioned it a few shows back, and I know people are probably getting sick of it, but, I believe that everything fell apart when Trump dismantled the agreement that Obama had made. I think it's Trump's fault. I think almost everything that's going to be happening upon the earth is Trump's fault. And he just willy-nilly did it because he wanted to be the one to be the big guy. And now my concern is I can see Israel playing him, because they said basically they went in anyways, and Trump can't stand being on the sidelines. It's his war. He said, we have complete control over it. No, Israel had complete control over the Iranian airspace. Sure, the United States had technology and stuff they lend, but we are all lending technology. All of the free world is lending technology. So that's like Canada saying, we now have free space over Iran. And so I think Israel, there was a huge bomb they let off this morning or last night. And I think that's part of the way you draw Trump in, so because he wants to,
He wants the biggest.
Well, and if he drops it and eliminates their nuclears, I did this, I did it, was me. And the sad thing about it is, and I don't know what the United States is going to do, because he's not allowed to go to war.
No, he can't.
He can't
without Congress.
But let's just see, because somehow they're letting him
all
these can'ts.
You are suggesting the U.S. will do something, take some action without Congress approval?
Yes.
Wow, you heard it first on the Jim and Terry Show. Have you heard? Here in the Hobbit Hole. We're safe in our bunker. Meanwhile, the U.S. wants to drop a bunker buster.
Yeah, they're like incredible. That's probably the wrong word. I mean, it'll ignite at 200 feet underground. 200 feet underground.
Do you remember the Moab? M-O-A-B?
Yes, and they let it off over Afghanistan.
To take out the caves, which they thought Osama bin Laden was in.
Yeah.
So it had to penetrate several tens of meters and then detonate to bring the caves down and seal them all in.
Yeah. It was
Moab, mother of all bombs.
And you could see it in the video. I mean, sometimes we can't tell the distance because we're just watching TV. But if you've ever watched that again, watch, and you just wait a moment, and you'll see a puff of smoke come out way over yonder. So all of that's being affected by that bomb.
Right.
So there's huge. That's like next is nuclear, I think.
I don't think. Well, no, that's an awful thing to put a loony on. I don't think anything is going to go nuclear either with Russia and Ukraine or with Iran and Israel.
Someone told me the other day that they had seen, which they thought was credible, that Iran said within the next, I don't know if it's 24 hours or 48 hours, and this was yesterday at dinner, that something so devastating they're going to do something so historic that it'll never be forgotten. So I don't know what that would be. I think it's bull. I think it's just people just getting on the bandwagon and getting people to...
You don't know the source of that particular
No,
one?
I didn't even ask.
Yeah.
Probably on... see, the thing is that you know as well as I do, if it's Yahoo Mail or Google Mail, it's all designed for you.
Yeah, the
It
clickbait.
would give you what you want.
So, Jim, what are you saying? Your feed is based on Armageddon?
No, well, it doesn't
Apocalypse
give me that.
Now?
It doesn't give me that stuff because I really don't pay that much attention to that. I pay a little of attention to everything. You know what I mean? But I don't pay, you have to come to your own conclusion.
Okay, let's link in crazy people with crazy talk. Crazy people talk crazy talk. And let's say that there are right-wing conservatives, maybe even within MAGA, who support Trump and want to see Iran eradicated. Iran can't have a nuke. That's Trump's bottom line. Iran can't have it. If you saw some of the historical footage showing Netanyahu going back into the early 90s, so this is now almost 30 years of saying Iran's going to have it in weeks. Iran's going to have it in weeks.
Yeah.
Iran's going to have it in weeks. And it went on for nearly 30 years. So is this
But don't forget,
are we finally
they
there?
did bomb them. They knocked them back.
And they sabotaged the nuclear facility with software, malware.
And I think I think they have.
And by they, we mean Israel without the U.S.
Yeah, Israel has reason to be concerned because that whole nation,
Iran,
is designed. Why do you think they're trying to make a nuclear bomb? It's to eradicate
Israel.
That's why they're trying to make it so.
And they've said so. It's nothing hidden.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
It's to kill Israel.
That's right.
So Israel's got to do something. Now, I don't know if it would be right or wrong if the United States do use their bunker busters. The idea is, and I like Netanyahu because Netanyahu, even though it's probably propaganda, gave a message to the Iranian people saying, now's your opportunity to rise up and take control and get your freedom and have a democracy in your land and get these guys out.
Okay, just pause that thought and let me go to an image of a flag that Israel has been using. Do you know anything about the significance of that flag?
I don't know what flag you're talking about.
Okay, there's a new flag, something rising. And you and I, with our memories, we'll have to look it up after the show. But it's a reference to the people of Iran rising up against the oppression of the Ayatollah.
Yeah, I thought that message was a wise one by Netanyahu. It may be full of crap, but it was a wise one. But in reality, very few civilians are being bombed by Israel.
These are all military
targets. It's
targets?
all military, taking out their leaders who want them dead.
Even in the apartment buildings?
What's that?
Even in the apartment buildings, it's still...
Yeah, I think that's where the leaders are. I mean, the same old thing is if you know there's a terrorist living next door, you best move. You know, you just best get out of there. And so I don't think Israel's really targeting civilians. They're targeting decapitating the military head of Iran and eliminating the nuclear threat. I think they need to do that. I'm
by any means?
Pretty well, yeah. Not nuke, but
anything non-nuclear.
Talk the United States and how I would do it dealing with Trump. I'd talk all about his glory. You're going to be glorified. History's going to remember you forever because you, the president, eliminated the nuclear threat of the world.
And Netanyahu doesn't care by any means. Just do it.
Yeah. Well,
so he will play Trump.
Yeah, I think he's already played him.
Okay. Let's switch over then from Israel and Iran, which I really didn't see coming at this particular time because Palestine is still ongoing. And I've been reading a lot about people, Palestinians in food lines being shot by IDF. I have no way of verifying this because the source is Hamas.
Yeah, well, what can we do? We're in a world of darkness, quite frankly.
Yeah.
The information world is, that's why you got to take a deep breath and go, I don't know if I can believe that. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I can see Israel wanting to eliminate, I'm not saying I'm for it, but I can see Israel wanting to eliminate completely Gaza and all its inhabitants. Get out of our life.
Yes.
And I can see that also being with Iran. Not killing all the people, but really destroying the nuclear and then lowering their defense to the point where even if you're gathering your scientists, we can take you out. You know, they got to get to the point where they can have some peace. Now, my biblical belief is I don't think there's going to be peace, but...
No peace in our time.
Yeah.
Somebody else said that. I think it was Chamberlain, 1938, guy getting off the plane from meeting Hitler. We know how that all worked out. I don't want to carry this load. I love that as a way of ominous. Jim and Terry Show signing
The
out.
sweat of my brow and the toil of my hands has got me so far into this promised land.